Okay, hey everybody, so this is video number 20, and I'm going to reveal the secret that's in the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So I'll just start with, I'm going to say what it is, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get it, because the lights really have to come on inside your own brain, if that makes sense. It's said that the secret can't be given to anybody, and you can't buy it. It can't be bought, can't be given away. You have to get it on your own, if that makes sense. The lights have to come on inside your own mind, because nobody can give you an insight. The insight always comes from within. Even if somebody points out something, the aha moment has to come from inside you. Kind of like that, there's a game the kids play where they say, I'm going on a camping trip and I'm going to bring some butter. Oh, you can go on the camping trip. Yay. And somebody else goes, well, I'm going to bring some pancakes. You can't go. What? And then somebody else says, well, I'm going to bring some beef patties. Oh, you can go, and the kids take a while before they click in as to whether you can go or whether you can't go, as to what the rules are of the game. But it's kind of like there's a secret there, and even though the answer is being given out freely around to everybody out in the open, some people get it, some people don't get it. And I've been to seminars sometimes, in the past, where finally I got a concept, and then I asked the person, I said, why didn't you just say that at the beginning, right? Just sum it up and say that at the beginning when I started, instead of just talking around it. They're like, we have been saying that from the beginning, in 100 different ways, right? So sometimes you just gotta get it. So anyways, Bob Proctor did tell me what the secret was long time ago when I was watching one of his DVDs, You Were Born Rich. And he said, if you want to know what the secret is, just get a gold card and write your goal down on that gold card and repeat it 3 times a day, every single day. And then I thought, that can't be the secret. That's not it, because Napoleon Hill, said in his book, he said that the secret is written once, at least once in each chapter. Well, more than that, because he says you can find it, more than 100 times throughout the book, and you might find it in the first chapter or the last page. So I said, well, just having a goal card, writing down your goal on a gold card and repeating it 3 times a day, that's not in every chapter, and that's not on the last page, and so forth, right? I didn't get it, right? But Bob Proctor had the right idea for the secret. Okay, he knew what the secret was. So here's Bob, and he has a gold card. Let's say this is his goal, and he wrote it on a card. Now, he wrote down, I think it was something like, we want to have $10,000. Now, for him, that was a dream that wasn't, feasible as a reality for him. He didn't believe it when he wrote it down, actually. It was, it was back in the 1960s or 70s or something like that, and he was making $5,000 a year, owing 6. Don't quote me on the, specifics, but he didn't see this as reality. Here's like $10,000, and this was his goal, right? This was his idea that he had. He did not believe it. Okay, he did not believe it when he first started, So he's looking out here, and this seems like an impossible, right? He did not believe, but he started repeating it 3 times a day. And that created more belief, and the belief helped him keep repeating it, because why repeat something if you don't think it's going to happen? And it just kept snowballing. He started to become a different person as far as what he believed he could do. And this goal, this idea, dropped down. If you see his graphs and stuff like that for the stick man, it went from becoming a conscious idea, it dropped down into his subconscious mind. His subconscious mind, where all things are possible. If you have an idea and you act on faith on it, then you start to get ideas from that level, that help you achieve that goal. And that's kind of like where he went straight to after. He kept repeating this idea that he didn't believe in yet until he believed in it. And then he started, just kind of like jumping that whole process by telling people, just make a decision. If you have a goal up here, not a goal that you can think you can do, but a goal that is kind of out of your reach, that you think is impossible, or not maybe impossible, but just kind of like, you'd have to kind of take a leap of faith to get to it. It's just kind of, you don't really know how you're going to get there. You just know that you will get there. if you just make a decision that you're going to do it, then you start thinking from that level, and the thoughts that you get at that point are totally on a different frequency than you staying down at a level of doubt, not believing that you can reach the goal. Because on that level, you're not getting the thoughts to, as to how to accomplish something, right? But if you make a decision, just knowing that you can, knowing that you will, from that level, you start to get thoughts from it. So in the book, this is how I came to this, because when I first heard Bob's thing of have a goal card and repeat it 3 times a day, I didn't get it, right? It says in the book, there are 2 parts to the secret. Okay, and it's not just one part. There's 2 parts. First, you have to be ready. You have to be ready for the secret. So there's you being ready. Okay, if you're not ready, you're not going to get the secret. That's one part of the secret. The next, he said he's going to give you a clue as to what, how you can notice the secret. He said all achievement and all riches have their origin in a thought. The second part of the secret is you got to have, it also says you got to know what you want. If you don't know what you want, you're not going to get it, okay? You have to have an idea. You have to be ready for the idea and ready to implement the idea, but you also have to have the idea. They go hand in hand, because you can't deliver a message that you haven't grown into to be able to get across to somebody, right? You have to become ready to know that you can do it. In the book, he talks about just kind of based on that. He talks about a preacher who had a sermon. He spent all these years pretty much thinking about this one idea. He wrote it all down prior to the Sunday service and stuff like that, and he was preparing it all this time, but he forgot his notes when he went there, and it's too late to go back. So he just talked on what he knew, because he didn't need his notes, because he already prepared himself in advance, and he's been writing it for preparing himself and for that deliver that message for years. You have to be ready, and you have to have an idea. Nobody can give you the secret, but and you can't buy it, but the lights have to come on inside you. Napoleon Hill said that the secret is actually, he doesn't even name it inside the book by its name, but you can become aware of it over 100 times. So what is in a book? Let's say you're reading Napoleon Hill's book and you're looking for the secret, right? Now, there's a whole bunch of words that you're reading, a whole bunch of words, but what is plentiful there around the words? A whole bunch of white space in the top, in the bottom, in the sides. There's a whole bunch of white space. Now, what is that white space for? Napoleon Hill's book is kind of like an incubator, for your seeds of thought, right? You get an idea. He says it's not what you read, but it's the ideas that you get as a result of what you read. You write those down into columns, right? So you get this great idea here, might have a great idea here. It's not what you read, but it's the ideas as a result of what you read. These are the ideas that if you keep reading the material of the book, you start to have faith that you can achieve these ideas. You become ready. You become a person who starts thinking from the context of which the author wrote it, and the author wrote it studying, hundreds of people over 20 years. He grew into the person to be able to write the book. When Andrew Carnegie first interviewed Napoleon, he gave him the idea. He threw out the idea to Napoleon, and then he had a timer, right? See if he was going to make a fast decision, and that's what Bob Proctor talks about, is a decision, because he wanted to see if Napoleon grasped the idea, and then if he was going to, act from that belief that that's possible, not knowing how I'm going to do that, just knowing that I will do that, right? You grasp the idea, and you step out in faith and you become ready. Andrew Carnegie asked him, well, you spend 20 years of your life researching this so you can deliver this idea. That was, Andrew Carnegie was asking him, are you willing to put in the time to get ready to deliver that idea? Andrew Carnegie handed him the secret by asking him if he's going to spend the time to get ready, to to be the person who's ready to, for the idea, to deliver the idea, and he gave him the idea. The two-part system. Bob Proctor said, take a gold card, read it 3 times a day, and he had an idea, and in the process of reading it 3 times a day, he started to believe it, where at the beginning, he did not believe it. So he had the idea, and then he got himself ready by repetition, right? He sunk that seed, that thought, that idea, down into his subconscious mind, where that seed can grow. And if your goal is in your subconscious mind, then the thoughts to create that goal are going to start coming from the subconscious stratosphere or mind. You're going to have thoughts that go beyond what your conscious awareness is. You're going to have thoughts that are part of the source that gave you that idea in the first place. If you can see it and believe it, you can achieve it, or whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. So, if you look at Napoleon Hill's, all his examples in his book, he had, all sorts of different kinds of millionaires and successful people who used the secret, who had an idea, and they all had different ideas, but they were all ready to implement that idea. Andrew Carnegie, got Napoleon Hill to, put this all in a book, and Napoleon Hill, spent his time to become the person ready to deliver it. When we read a book over and over again, that context starts to become a part of our mind. When we start to read it for the first time, we don't have the context of the book, start, at the place that we start reading it. So if we read it through once and then come back and read it again, then we're starting already with the context of what the whole book is about from the first sentence, on, right? So it's like, and then we'll start to pick up a lot more because we start to create an awareness of what all the book is about, and the second time through we start to just remember more because we're building a context, and it becomes part of our thinking. We're thinking from that. We're thinking from the context of which that the author wrote it in when he wrote it. So it's like the snowball effect I was talking about earlier. Like if you keep reading something over and over again, if you're rolling a snowball, it's like rolling a snowball down the hill. It picks up more and more every time it goes around. It picks up more and more because it gets bigger, and our consciousness grows, and we can pick up more than what we're seeing. So it's that's the secret. Basically, I don't want to make this too long, but if there's other important points, I'll just put in the description and stuff. But basically, there's the idea that you can find is not written down, specifically. You have to come up with it on your own. It's grasping an idea, knowing that you can do it because you became the person who's ready to do that. These ideas can be found on any place in the book. So when you have that aha, it's on any page. You could have found the secret on page 1 or page 300 or anywhere in between, because it's not what's written on the lines, it's what's written in between the lines. It's what you get in all the open space as far as the thoughts come into your mind, as what you read becomes a trigger to spur on ideas, and knowing that you can do it. And then you review that, if you review it often, you can deposit it into your subconscious mind, where you're going to get thoughts to act on it, and you can jump straight there, with getting thoughts to act on something. You just make a decision to do it. I was going to say too that there's 2 parts. So you got the idea, and you got that you're ready. Do you know that the book is also like a reflection of you? Depending on what you get out of the book, it's kind of really reflecting back your level of awareness as you read it. So if you get like, a little bit out of a book, it's probably reflecting back your level of awareness at the time that you're reading it. But if you have like a greater level of awareness, that's reflected back too, because you're able to get more out of it. Because person with wisdom can pick out wisdom within pretty much anything, kind of thing. And as you grow in your awareness, you can see more, right? If you're on the first level of a building, you can only see so much out in the street. But if you rise to the 120th floor, you're looking down on the same street, you can see like a whole lot more, right? The world is a mirror. We see not the world as it is, but as we are. And it's when Bob was saying that he kept reading it, getting more out of it, he said it's not like he was reading it and there was words written in there that weren't there before. He was reading it and he was saying, from himself that wasn't there before. He was a changed person. So, yeah, we see the world not as it is, but as we are, and perception is projection. So it's just like everything in life, it's a mirror, and that kind of shows that we're ready based on, even if we're ready to see insights. So, I think that's about it. I could go on in descriptions, but I'll just put it in the description. Oh, I was going to say too, like he also gave us a hint in the title, right? Think and grow rich, right? So Bob Proctor says have a goal and just keep repeating it over and over. That's thinking times 3. Think, think, think. And then that helped him grow into the person that could implement his idea to become rich, right? Think, have an idea, and then grow, get ready. 2 part of the secret, so that it's the he said once you know the secret, then that's the foundation from which you can grow in prosperity and all achievement. So you grow rich. So think and grow rich. The secret comes in 2 parts. Be the one ready for the secret, and then to have an idea that you can get, as a result of reading it, and then you can implement that. Just like all the other people that implemented their ideas, they had faith. Examples. His son, who was deaf, he learned that he could hear based on the vibration with the bone vibration, and then he started selling hearing aids. And then also Edison, he had ideas, and he had faith that he could create the ideas, and then whatever the mind could conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. He went with that, and was able to do that. Yeah. So, and all the other examples, can't think off the top of my head, but it's all, Henry Ford, was trying to build a new motor, and he just saw it. He just knew that it was going to happen, right? So he just told his engineers, just stay on it until you make it, right? And they were in the right paradigm. They didn't believe it, but they were told, just keep doing it until you make it happen. So they had to just let go of all their doubts and just go in with the mindset, it's going to happen. We don't know how, we just know that we will, kind of mindset. So anyways, that's the secret. I was told it before and I didn't even get it. I just got it. Thanks.